Robert Collins, author of Greater Thoughts, is also a motivational speaker and a mind coach, helping you to untrap your mind. In order to elevate your team, your organization, or your business, visit Robert Collins on theuntrappedmind.com or follow him on Instagram at Greater7Thoughts. That's greater, the number 7 thoughts. Robert Collins says, all success starts with a thought. Now turn that thought into action and go be great.
Good morning. Good morning. It is your host, Mr. RC. It is your show, the Greater Thoughts Morning Show. That's what I said. I said it's your show, the Greater Thoughts Morning Show. Yes, I want to thank you for tuning in this morning. I have quite a few things to talk about today, not just one particular topic for you all today. I want to just talk with the people. I wish I had you all here in the studio with me so we could dialogue together. So I guess more or less I'm going to talk with you in the form of to you. Let me tell you, I want to start off right where I normally start off with gratitude. Just want to let you know that I am very grateful for every ear that is able to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth this morning. Look, I wake up early on a Thursday morning. I get up early. This morning, 4:40. So I was up in the Adams nice and early this morning, and I thank God that I was able to rise so that I can share with you today my thoughts here on the Greater Thoughts Morning Show. And when I say greater thoughts, it all stemmed from my book, the Greater Thoughts, my book, The Untrapped Mind, which was the first book in the series from Greater Thoughts. As I keep mentioning, because I'm speaking it into existence as I continue to put material together. The Greater Marriage is coming before the end of 2025. And as I continue to move forward in the process of this book, I'm gonna drop little pieces on you all throughout the year as I go to completion of the Greater Marriage. Yes, I am married. This is not my first time around, so I don't mind sharing some of my life with you. This is not my first time around, so I've done it before. That's why I was able to do it again. I fell down in the first one, and I picked myself up by my bootstraps, as they like to say, and I was able to do it again this time around. I've been married over 10 years, and you guys heard my beautiful wife on the show last month. To end out 2024, I couldn't have my wife not on the show. And so we have 3 lovely children, one with my previous wife. So we have 4 lovely children. And my oldest son is getting ready to graduate next month, who was on the show as well. If you were tuned in to Black History Month last year, you heard my 3 younger children, and I'll do that again this year as well. I had them bring, as they like to call them, the fun facts for Black History Month. Let them come on and share knowledge about people of Black culture, history, that have helped grow this country, and not just this country, but even countries outside of this country, with the multitude of things that we have done throughout this country. With that being said, I want, sometimes while I'm speaking to you, other things come to mind. And I know this is something that you all go through as well. You're speaking on one thing with somebody, and then something else comes to mind. But I want to encourage anyone out there that's listening to pay attention to your children. Pay attention to where they are. Pay attention to who they're around. Pay attention to what they're doing. My wife and I was watching a movie not too long ago, and in the movie, the son was killed, and the husband and wife were having a discussion, and the mother was like, "Did you know our son was into this? Did you know our son was into that? Did you know our son was into this?" And the father was unaware of many of the things that the son was into. Long story short, the mother ended up leaving the husband. The husband went back to find out more about why their son lost his life. But what I'm saying all this to say this, and this doesn't matter about race, but I'm talking about Black people at the moment. This does not matter about race because it could be any race that I'm talking to. But at the moment, I'm talking about Black people. We are some of the greatest inventors that this planet has ever seen. I said planet has ever seen. When I talk about inventions, we have so many inventions. We have so many inventions that were stolen from us. But we also have a high rate of death in our Black community amongst our youth. We have to do a better job of taking care of our children so that that number in the year 2025 goes down from what it was in 2024 and continuing to go down into 26, 27, 28, 29, and 2030, and on and on and on. We have to do a better job of taking care of our own people, our children, because if you were to just go back and look at how many young Black people have passed in the last 10 years, we don't even have to go back that far. You can go back the last 5 years since 2020. How many inventions have we lost? How many inventions have there been that could have been on the forefront of the way that technology is used today? I mean, you just don't know. And with AI getting so big here toward the future, it's no telling who or what, where, or when the next invention could have been and by whom. And so let's take care of our children. Let's pay attention to who our children are around. Let's pay attention to the environment our children are in. Know where your children are all day, every day. Be in tune with your children. All right, I'm off of that. Had to go there. Listen, people in California, my heart goes out to you. My prayers go out to you. Some of the stuff that you see on the news, man, it's unfathomable. Never would have thought that you see the part of California on fire that's on fire. I mean, you never ever would imagine it. You know, not only the parts of California that's on fire, the things that you're seeing on social media, and I try to block out social media sometimes. It takes some space away from it because sometimes it's just seeing too much. You know, I've seen on social media people in the house. I seen two men in the house with a dog, and the fire was just outside the patio window. And my heart goes out to them. Thank God I heard that they were rescued safely. But then I seen another one where a man was out in his driveway and he was just with his old school cars. You know me, I love my old school cars. So this is in one of my car groups that I follow. But it was showing him outside just begging and pleading with the fire not to come his way because his old school cars were in the path of a burning destruction. And so my heart and prayers go out to those people who have lost, you know, cars, homes, and family members, friends, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews, grandparents. You know, the hurricanes were here in North Carolina, and I-40 still isn't back in order. And now California is dealing with these fires. So from water to fire, you know, it's a tough situation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be praying. And what I'm gonna suggest to you as a listener, let's all be like Elijah from the Bible and pray. And pray that they see some rain so that it can get better. I know yesterday they were saying on the news and on and on and on that it was not safe yet to go and return back to your homes if you're in that area, to continue to just stay away just a little bit longer, hold out a little bit longer, because there was still some more winds coming in. And with that wind, along with the heat, there is still more drought like conditions. and there is possibilities that those flames and the ashes and things can still spread. So if you're from that area and you vacated your home, which I hope you did, but if you vacated your home, don't go back to that area just yet. You don't need to see what it looks like that bad to end up getting caught in that. So we need to be like Elijah and praying for the rain. And Elijah, if I can just share with you for a moment, Elijah was praying for rain, but he hadn't seen the clouds in the sky just yet. But he still was praying for the rain, knowing that it was on the way. So we as a people, as a collective unit, we need to be praying for the rain to help out so that some of these areas where it's currently drought-like conditions can get some water in the ground, on the ground, and stop those fires from burning and help those fires get put out by those that are firefighters. And to the firefighters and to all those that's going to be out there helping to help clean up and to help those, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for putting your life on the line. Thank you for being willing to go and do the thing that most people aren't. So I just want to commend you. I'm all about paying attention to those that are willing to do the things that everyone else isn't. Now, speaking on that, as I talked to you last week it was the 9th, and it was the day before Quitter's Day, and I told you, don't do it. I said, don't do it. Don't be the one to quit on your New Year's goal. Your New Year's goal was important to you when you set it. Your New Year's goal was important when you were taking time to think about it in December. Your New Year's goal was going to be the thing that came in to change your life for 2025. And I told you, don't do it. Do not quit. So let me say this. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you that did not quit on your New Year's goal. For those of you that began the Daniel's fast or any other type of fast with your church or with your organization or with your friends or with your family, however you chose to do it, I hope you did not quit. Don't do it. It's what I told you. Don't quit. So I'm going to continue to encourage you to stay steadfast. Now, guess what? I spoke a little bit ago about pulling myself up by my bootstraps. Listen, for those of you that did quit, you did stop, you did put a pause break, because that's what I'm going to call it for you. It's a pause break. You put a pause break in play. Guess what? It's time to keep it going. Just because you made a stop doesn't mean that you have to quit. So don't look at this thing as though, hey, I stopped, and so I might as well go ahead and continue going down the path that I was going down before, because I didn't know if I could do it anyway. I didn't know that if I were to continue to do it, if I would have even made it anyway. We're going to go ahead and rebuke that negative thought. We're going to go ahead and cancel those negative ideologies that come to yourself. No, that is not the reality for your life. What we want to do is we want to reframe those thoughts, starting one thought at a time. You don't need to worry about all of the thoughts and change them all at once. We're going to go bit by bit, piece by piece. And I'm going to start off by telling you, you can do it. Just that easy. Say, I can do it. I am able to do it. It is possible for me. Everything that I desire can come into my life. And excuse me. What I'm sharing here is this. You have to pick yourself back up. You have to start this journey from where you are right now. And that means that you started, but you paused. So where you are at this moment means that it's at a new spot, because you can't go backwards. That's what I want you to know right now. Don't go backwards. Don't get stuck in your past. Your past is over with. And it's so that's a bar. As my kids will say, that's a bar. Your past is over with. You do not live where you came from. You are in a new space. Ty Tribbett say, everything new, new, new. That's a good song if you're not familiar with it. But you are in a new space. And in this new space, believe that you can do it. And believe that the strength that God has for you is for you, and that it'll take you to places that you never thought of. Eyes haven't heard. Eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard how God can bless you. So I want you to know that today, the 16th, is the day for you to start back up your New Year's resolution. Keep it going. When I'm speaking of this, I tell people all the time, even with my book, that my book is doing okay. And I'm excited for where I know it's going to take me. I'm excited for where I know this radio show is going. I'm excited for what my life looks like at the end of 2025. I'm excited for where I'm going to be in 2030. You have to have a vision of where you're going to go and what God has for you. Stay in alignment with what is your purpose. And let me tell you, your gifts will make way for you. They'll make room for you. And it really makes me think about how often I tell people, for even myself, because I'm being real with you as a radio air personality, as a motivational speaker, as a mind coach, no matter what, there's always room for growth, and there's always room to see things expand. And so I tell people all the time, I'm where I am, but I know that it only takes one person, it only takes one situation, it only takes one time for where I am to expand. It only takes for one person to attach to it and share it with one person. And that can be in anything, you all. That could be in anything. It could be, let's just say, a young athlete just getting caught on film by the right person. And that one video, 10-second, 15-second clip could be shared with someone that knows a coach, and that coach knows another coach that happens to know your coach, and now you have a scholarship to go to college at the school that you didn't think you could even get into. So these types of things happen. It only takes one. And when you're in alignment with what God wants from you and where you should be, and doing the things the right way and working, I will always make sure that you understand you have to work. When you're working and in the right place working, then you can be found. And so really makes me think about the A.J. Brown. I don't know if you're familiar with A.J. Brown, but A.J. Brown is a player in the NFL, and he was in a playoff game with the Packers versus the Eagles, and he plays for the Eagles. And in the game, he had a book that he was reading, and it was a self-help motivational book that he likes. And I'm gonna suggest, if you know him, tell him to grab a copy of Greater Thoughts. But the name of the book he was looking at or was reading was called Inner Excellence. See, I'm not going to not be excited for the gentleman who wrote Inner Excellence, but I'm excited for speaking about him because I know the same thing can happen for me. And that's important. A lot of people are so focused on not speaking up about the positivity for other people because they're in a level of envy or jealousy. See, I'm excited for the author of Inner Excellence because his life changed. He had a life-changing moment because he wrote a book in 2020 that now in 2025, he's getting more notoriety than ever before because one person, A.J. Brown, had his book and was in the fourth quarter looking at his book that A.J. Brown has read and made notes in, and the cameraman paid attention to it, zoomed in on it. And once he zoomed in on it, now that book went viral. AJ Brown went viral for reading this book in the midst of his game because he's a reader. He said he's not sad or hurt or depressed or anything, but this is a book that gives him motivation. And I pray that when you listen to me, I give you motivation. It is exciting to know or to hear when people call me or come up to me with testimonies about how my book has impacted their life. When they tell me about how listening to me on the radio impacted their life. You know, I had a young man tell me one time that it was so good, the show that I did on forgiveness. He was actually able to reach out to a gentleman that he hadn't spoken to in over 10 years due to a situation that he didn't really have anything to do with, but the other person took it personally because he was in a relationship with the person that he wasn't in a relationship before with anymore. But those types of things are good to hear. They're good for your spirit. You know, those are the small milestones that you reach along the way that I tell you all the time to take joy in, to appreciate the small steps because you're on a journey. It's not a little small, let me say, it's not a 100 meter dash. You got miles that you run. So in the sense of that, you have to start taking time to smile and enjoy when you reach the 100 meters, even though you're running 100 miles. And so, you know, what I want you to pay attention to is keep working, keep doing what it is that you do, and don't worry about the future and how it's going to turn out. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do, and everything will turn out the way it's supposed to. And I want you to stay encouraged on that. On to this next thing that I have to mention real fast. I have a situation where I was looking to post something, and my wife was telling me, just go ahead and post it. I'm like, but it doesn't look the way I want it to look. She said, well, just go ahead and post it. I was like, it doesn't have the background that I want it to have. Just go ahead and post it. So I end up making a post. But before I made the post, she shared with me something saying, so a lady from a podcast, I can't remember the lady's name as I would share it with you, but it was telling me not to worry about what other people think. And you'd be surprised how many people can use what it is that you're going to share because because people are worried about what other people think. But sometimes people have liberation in you sharing something that's not 100% complete because 99.9% of us are not 100% complete. So you have to start from somewhere. You have to be able to believe that it's all right for me to post this. And so I did go ahead and make the post. And I did doctor it up a little bit, but it still wasn't exactly what I wanted. But I've gotten such good feedback. If you're not following me on social media, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at I am greater thoughts or greater the number 7 thoughts. I am transitioning the social media platforms. So I am greater thoughts is going to be changing over to greater 7 thoughts here in the next 30 days or so. But I am greater thoughts is probably the best one for you to tap into. If you also are not following me on YouTube, follow greater 7 thoughts on YouTube, no spaces. So just greater 7 thoughts. But I have a commercial out that says no matter who you are, who is around you, and no matter what's around you, it's all about the mindset. And I want to just talk about that for just a moment before the show ends. It doesn't matter who is around you, is what I say. And it does not matter who is around you. Let me explain. there's a difference between who's around you and who you let in your ear. Okay? Who is around has nothing to do with your mindset. Your mindset is all based on what thoughts you allow to resonate with you. See, there's an acceptance piece that a lot of times we don't want to pay attention to. And the acceptance piece is what you allow yourself to believe about who you are. Do you believe that you are the things that you say about yourself? Do you speak negativity into your life? Do you allow yourself to resonate with the things that go along with destruction of the person that you deem yourself either worthy to be or growing to be or destined to be? And so what I want to say to you is, at this moment, start speaking some positive affirmations into your life. One of the things in the book, Greater Thoughts, is the fact that I tell you, when you get to day 90, because you have to go through the process. See, the process is so important. But when you get to day 90, what I have you do in the book is to create a personal mantra or affirmation that encapsulates your journey of your self transformation and empowers you for your future. And then tell you to write it down. And then not only just write it down, but put it someplace where you can see it often, where you can see it day to day, where you can see it, put it in your wallet, put it in your purse, where if the times come where you get down on yourself, you can now pull it out and read it. See, a personal affirmation, a personal mantra that you speak should uplift you, because it's going to take you to a place that brings you joy. So don't allow the people that are around you or your environment outside of you to control the way you view yourself. That is the takeaway of the day, is to not allow anything outside of you to take you and put you in a place of inferiority. So don't allow yourself to feel inferior to the environment or the people around you. Always allow yourself to be uplifted within your thought process. It makes a difference. And I understand it's not easy. It's not always easy, but it's something you have to do moment by moment some days, second by second other days, hour by hour other days. As you continue to practice this, you'll be able to get the time lapse between them greater and greater. And when you come up against situations that seem to create turmoil in your life, you'll be able to say, but that's not for me. That's not where my life is going. You'll hear people always talk about where they see something going, but you can say that's for them, and I understand, but that's not for me. That's not where my life is going. And remember this, you have to make changes and be willing to give up some things if you want to see new things in your life. Now take that and hold on to it. But before I leave you, I must remind you, all success starts with a thought. Take the thoughts, turn them into action, and go be great. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Thursday, 8 a.m. WDRB Media.
In the silence of the night, when doubt creeps in, I hear that whispering voice from within. The weight of the world tries to break my soul, but I rise from the ashes, determined and whole.